Tips to keep your metabolism up while you are intermittent fasting. I'm Erica Saucedo, board certified medical doctor. There's something called adaptive thermogenesis, which is talked about a lot in the fitness community, especially with weight lifters who want to build muscle and lose fat. And what happens is, as we decrease our calories, which can happen with intermittent fasting as well, we worry that our metabolism will slow down, which can happen. First tip is to keep your NEAT up. What does that mean? NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So NEAT are movements like when I fidget, when I bounce my knee, when I'm moving my hands, even walking, that kind of stuff is what is happening throughout the day where we're burning calories, not intentionally doing that. But what's been shown is that in studies, when people lower their caloric intake, they naturally, subconsciously lower their NEAT or lower those little movements. And so one way to keep your metabolism up is to continue those movements. So I mentioned before, for example, after you eat, it's good to get up and move. So whether you're doing the dishes, that kind of stuff, it is beneficial. If you're somebody who tracks your steps, you want to make sure that your steps are staying maintained. They did a study and found that people who were walking 10,000 steps daily when they were in a caloric deficit, they naturally walked less. So using your Fitbit or your, some kind of device to show and track your steps so that you're still maintaining your steps, even though your caloric intake is lower. Another tip would be, if you're new to intermittent fasting, is to gradually increase your fasting windows. You don't want to do it too quickly. The reason for this is that it's been shown that if somebody loses a lot of weight quickly, like for example, more than a pound a week, that can actually shoot, you up to, sure, it's great in the beginning because you lose a lot of fat and you're losing a lot of weight quickly, but what ends up happening is then you reach this threshold and all of a sudden you can't, now your metabolism has gone down quickly because our bodies are amazing and will adapt to it. And now you're not able to lose the same amount of weight anymore. And so you kind of hit this wall or this plateau. So the idea would be, let's say you're fasting for 12 hours. You don't want to just jump to the 18 hours. You want to, gradually increase your fast by 1 to 2 hours each time. And that's going to help your metabolism stay elevated. An important tip, I think, is not fasting every day. If we fast every day, obviously, the idea with fasting is that you just naturally are going to eat less because you're not eating in such a long window period. So when you fast, like for example, let's say you're doing a 16-8 where you're eating in the 8-hour window, you're not going to eat as much as when you're not fasting. So your caloric intake is going to be less. But if you do that every day, now your body will adapt to that. So the idea, what they call in the weightlifting community, is a refeed period. So that would be, for example, let's say you fast Monday through Friday, and then you know that caloric intake is less than what you normally do. Saturday and Sunday, then you go back to what your regular eating is. You don't want to necessarily overeat, and you probably won't if you're intermittent fasting because your stomach will adapt and you'll probably get full faster. But the idea is you're going back to your maintenance dose on those 2 consecutive days, and that's been shown to be beneficial so that your metabolism doesn't slow down. The way that I think about it is like muscle confusion. You know how we go to the gym and doing different activities has been shown to be beneficial, not doing the same thing over and over again. It's sort of like metabolic confusion. You're confusing your metabolism, so it never knows, is she going to get it? Is he going to eat? Is he not going to eat? And so it keeps your metabolism the same. The tip I've talked about, I think is so important, is to make sure when you are eating, making sure you're getting protein. That's going to be the first thing you want to make sure that you are getting in your diet. So in other words, yes, whole foods, all of that, super ultra processed, avoid that. Yes, I do believe in that. But the idea is that you're getting at least a 1-to-1. So you're 1 gram for 1 pound of your ideal body weight, right? So let's say your ideal body weight is 150 pounds, then you want to get at least 150 grams of protein in when you're eating. And I know that sounds like a lot, but if you do that, what's going to happen is then the type of foods you're going to be eating is going to be better for you, right? You're going to be getting your protein in, and that's going to help you maintain your muscle. If you maintain your muscle, now your metabolism is not going to go down because remember, your muscle will be burning while you're not eating. So you're keeping your metabolism high by keeping your protein intake high. Another tip is resistance training. Obviously, if you are keeping your muscle or even building muscle, that's going to keep your metabolism up because like I just mentioned, Keeping your muscle mass is going to help your metabolism. And then the last thing is listening to your body. So let's say you're fasting, you're not feeling well, you feel like excessively hungry, you're feeling excessively fatigued. Go ahead and break the fast. It's probably not a good time to be fasting for whatever reason. For women, there are some people who say we should not be fasting during our cycle. Something else to consider. Just be really aware of your body. You know what's best for you. And so I may tell you all these tips, but you know better than me, to be honest. All right, beautiful lights. Love, light, and abundance. Bye.